Welcome to Weekly Legal Updates by Law Trend. I'm Kulkarni, an intern at Law Trend. Today, we are going to look at the updates from the week of 8th May to 14th May. Firstly, the Supreme Court has inaugurated an app for providing links of virtual Supreme Court proceedings to the media. The inaugural event, Chief Justice of India N.V. Ramana stated that he was also considering live telecast of Supreme Court proceedings, but before doing so, he would take a general consensus of his colleagues. In a significant judgment under the case of Gautam Naulakha versus National Investigation Agency, Justices U. Lalit and K.M. Joseph held that courts can direct house arrest under Section 167 of the CrPC. The court refused statutory bail to Gautam Naulakha because the period of 34 days done by him under house arrest was not directed under Section 167 of the CrPC and thus did not fulfill the requirement of 90 days. Justice Aniruddha Bose of the Supreme Court, while dismissing a transfer petition, held that language problem was not a ground for transfer of a criminal case. In this case, transfer of a criminal case was sought because the accused could not understand the Tamil language. The Supreme Court has reiterated in the case of UP Transmission Corporation Limited versus Power and Industrial Limited that mere existence of arbitration clause does not bar writ jurisdiction of the High Court. In contractual matters, the court held that alternative remedy is not an absolute bar and High Court can entertain petitions under specified circumstances. In the case of Rahul Sharma and another versus National Insurance Company, the Supreme Court held that where the deceased was under the age of 40, his family was entitled to 40% extra towards future prospects as a compensation in motor accidents claim. Considering the second wave of COVID-19, a bench of Chief Justice N.V. Ramana, L. Nageshwaran Rao and Justice Suryakant has directed release of all such prisoners that were released last year due to COVID. The court also has directed that the police should not arrest mechanically and follow guidelines of Arnesh Kumar judgment strictly. Further, the court has also stated that in each state, a high power committee shall consider application of prisoners for their release as per the guidelines of National Legal Services Authority. To streamline the supply of oxygen and medicines in India, the Supreme Court has constituted a task force of 12 members. The task force would enable decision making and provide inputs on current and future problems. The Supreme Court has issued notices in plea challenging the appointment of Prashant Kishor as advisor to CM of Punjab. The appeal has directed against the judgment of Punjab and Haryana High Court. A petition has been filed in the Supreme Court stating that coercing citizens to take the COVID-19 vaccine was unconstitutional under Article 21 of the Constitution of India. The plea had been filed by Jacob Paliel, an ex-member of the National Technical Advisory Group on Immunization, through Advocate Prashant Bhushan. It has been stated in the plea that in many parts of the country, citizens are coerced into taking vaccines on the preconditions of not having jobs or access to essential services. The Advocate on Record exam of the Supreme Court has been postponed due to the exponential rise in COVID-19 cases. The exam was scheduled to be from 8th of June to 13th of June 2021. The new dates of the examination have not been announced, but the application submission date has been extended till 30th of June. Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, a judge of the Supreme Court of India, has tested COVID positive. Justice Chandrachud is leading the bench hearing a suo motu petition on COVID crisis in India. Moving on to High Court updates. In a significant judgment given by Allahabad High Court in the case of Pratik Jain versus the state of UP, it has been held that apprehension of death due to COVID-19 is a valid ground for anticipatory bail. The court observed that during the COVID period, a person, if arrested, could be exposed to COVID-19 infection, which is a threat to his life and therefore is a valid ground for seeking anticipatory bail. The Orissa High Court has struck down its rule regarding designation of senior advocate. The court observed that designation of a senior advocate is a coveted position and only Tom, Dick or Harry could not be on this post. The rule, which has been struck down by the court, provided that the court can designate an advocate as a senior advocate without granting any proposal or application. This week, the Allahabad High Court has held a suo motu public interest litigation on COVID management. The court has passed a slew of directions in this regard. Firstly, it has directed all magistrates in the state of UP to release the seized remdesivir, oxygen concentrators and other life-saving drugs. The court has also directed the state government to constitute a public grievance committee headed by a judicial officer which will be appointed by the district judge. Further, the court has prima facie observed that late Justice V.K. Srivastava of Allahabad High Court was not given proper treatment at a COVID hospital. Therefore, an inquiry committee has also been constituted in this regard. The court has also taken up the issue of vaccinations of police persons and persons with disabilities who cannot get to vaccine centers. In respect of UP Panchayat elections, the court has directed to show cause that why only 30 lakhs is being paid to those who have died of election duty in Panchayat elections. The court said at least 1 crore should be paid by the state as employees were forced to go there. In a strange order, the Punjab and Haryana High Court have refused to grant protection to a live-in couple on the ground that it would disturb the social fabric of society. The Madras High Court has come to a rescue of a person who is denied passport because of a criminal case lodged against him for not wearing a mask. The Madras High Court stated that criminal proceedings are said to be pending only after the filing of a charge sheet. The 5-judge bench of Calcutta High Court has expressed its satisfaction over the way CM Mamata Banerjee has handled the post-poll violence. During the hearing, the Chief Justice remarked that the steps taken by the government to bring situation back to normalcy is appreciable. The Allahabad High Court has entertained a public interest litigation seeking compensation for victims of COVID-19. The public interest litigation has been filed by Dr. Sandeep Pandey through Advocate Rajat Rajan Singh. During the launch of app for media persons, as stated earlier, the CJI NV Ramana has said that COVID has affected judiciary very much, as 106 High Court judges and 2,766 judicial officers have tested positive for COVID-19 so far. Out of these, 32 judicial officers and 3 High Court judges have sadly succumbed to the illness. The Tripura High Court has directed the state administration to disclose further developments regarding a complaint filed by a bride's father as to whether an FIR has been registered behind it, and if not, why was so. Tripura DM Shailesh Yadav became viral for the video in which he was seen raiding a marriage ceremony on alleged COVID-19 violation. Now moving on to other legal updates. The Supreme Court has ruled that 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 the Supreme Court has rul The National Human Rights Commission has taken cognizance over the floating corpses in Ganga alleged to be those of who died due to COVID-19. The Commission has issued notices to the Centre, Governments of Uttar Pradesh, Union Ministry of Jal Shakti as well as Bihar government over the issue and sought to report back within 4 weeks. 4 new members have been appointed to the National Consumer Disputes Redressal Commission, 2 judicial and 2 non-judicial. The judicial members are Justice Karunanand Bajpai and Justice Ram Surat Ram, both who are retired judges of the Allahabad High Court. Shri Subhash Chandra, an IAS, retired Secretary of Ministry of Defence, and Shri Binoy Kapoor, IAS, retired Secretary, Ministry of Steel, have been appointed as non-judicial members. Thank you for watching our weekly legal updates. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. For latest legal updates, download the Law Trend app. We will meet again next week with the next week legal updates. Till then, stay safe, boost your immunity levels and follow the COVID protocol. Bye.